Guess what, baddies? I'm back and it's new year, bigger butt. Because look at me. This was me at the beginning of 2024 and this is me now at the end of 2024. Huge difference in, I'm gonna teach you how to get there. In 2025, it's for the big booty girls, okay? So we're gonna start out with Stairmaster, level 10, 10 minutes. All the way through, hands up. Do not put those hands down, otherwise you're weak. You don't want it bad enough, clearly. If it's too hard for you at level 10, girl, then just, do it a level down, like do it at level 8 for 10 minutes. And then gradually, as you get better and better and get more endurance, then you start to raise the level that you're doing. I promise you, you can do it. You got this. Next up is my glute staple, pulse abductors for 4 sets of 25, and here I'm going to teach you how to do it. You're going to start off by giving me a 10-second hold at the point of tension first. Don't worry, girl, I got you. I'm going to explain it. The point of tension is where you feel your glutes squeezing at the hardest at the top of the movement. So you're going to hold it there for 10 seconds. Trust me, this is where the growth happens. Now let me teach you how to do the pulse abduction. So it goes out, then pulse, out, then pulse, out, squeeze, pulse, out, and pulse. You get the tempo? You're gonna do that for 4 sets of 25, increasing your weight each set. Now let's get into placement because it's so important for you guys to know this. Okay, girls, so here's T. I like to lean slightly forward and keep my feet on the closest foot placement with my toes turned out like a ballerina because this really puts a big emphasis on the glute medius and the glute minimus. Leaning forward intensifies the burn so much. Literally, trust me, you'll feel it. If it helps, you can grab onto the machine for balance, but don't use your hands to move the weight if it's too heavy. That means girl is too heavy and go down, please. And you're stronger than you think, so push yourself. I usually start with 200 pounds on my first set, and by the last set, I do the max weight on the machine. Please go heavy. And at the end of each rep, please give me a 10-second hold. I don't care. No excuses. Like, do you want a capital P or not? All right, get to work. Okay, now let's build that side booty. We're supersetting that workout with a weighted abduction for 4 sets of 12. So here's how it works. Start by placing a free weight on the nook of your knee and make sure you're squeezing it tight with your arm. Hold on to something sturdy like a bench wall for balance. Stand tall. Keep your core engaged and lift your working leg out to the side in a controlled motion and try to pause it at the top. Now let's get into the non-working leg because it is just as important. I like to keep my non-working leg slightly bent to help with balance and control. Now here's a real tea. I bring my working leg slightly behind my non-working leg as I lift, just to create a deeper stretch in the glute medius, and it really activates those booty muscles. And if it burns, please do not give up. Don't embarrass me, do not give up, because like I said before, if you really want that capital P, it's gonna take some work. So get up and work. Simple. Okay, baddies, now let's break down the calf glute bridge. We're doing that for 4 sets of 12. Of course, it's banded because we like to work over here. Please make sure that you keep the band above your knee, no higher, no lower, none of that. Please do this without the weight first. This is what I'm doing. This does not count as your first set, by the way. Sorry. So you're going to go all the way down, followed by a half rep, and then back up. It goes all the way down, up, squeeze in, half rep, squeeze, back down. You get the tempo, right? Now with the weight, it is the exact same concept. Push through your heels, lift your hips just enough to feel your glutes fire up, and squeeze at the top like you mean it. Do not bounce, babe. Keep it slow and controlled. Now this is where I explain the 10-second hold. So you're gonna wanna keep a pelvic tilt and just squeeze your glutes as hard as you can for 10 seconds. Then you can begin your set. Now let's talk about feet placement. You wanna keep your feet on the ground and make sure that it's shoulder width apart. But this is what works for me. Know that everybody's feet placement is slightly different according to the activation that will come for your glutes, and it just depends on your level of training, how long you've been working out glutes for. For me, it's this on this particular machine, but every machine is so different and placement as well. So I highly recommend that you just play around with your feet placement, play around with how high your hips are supposed to go so that you personally can get the most activation from what you're doing. So because this is banded, I normally don't go more than 2 plates because I cannot go more than 2 plates because this band makes it just so insane. Also, you're giving me a 10-second hold at the end, and your face should look just like mine. Like I was done, cooked. I couldn't even get up after this. Now it's time to see the body burn because we're doing lying clamshells for 4 sets of 25. And yes, I know my feet were slipping and I kept readjusting it, but guess what? It doesn't matter because the work was still done. And I promise you, clamshells after hip thrust is crazy work. But now let's get into this work. Start by laying on your side with your legs bent at like a 90-degree angle, both feet, by the way. With your feet together, keep the resistance band above your knee, and from there open your top knee like a clamshell while keeping your feet pressed together. Stop when you feel the tension in your glutes, hold it for a second, then bring your knee back down slow and controlled. The movement is small and focused, so no swinging and no rushing because we don't do any of that. And this exercise targets the glute medius and minimus, giving you that lifted, rounded shape, and it also strengthens your hip overall glute stability. So this is definitely a keeper. This next exercise is not for the weak. It is Smith machine banded Bulgarians. Yes, you heard me correctly. You're going to put the band on your non-working leg. Here's why I do it. It's just to keep my non-working leg from moving. Like, yes, you can do it without the band, but then I'm actively thinking about not using my leg, and it kind of just doesn't, like, it defeats the purpose. But anyways, feet placement is so important. You're going to have your feet more so in front of you at a little more than a 90-degree angle, and then you're going to drop down to where you feel the points of tension. Foot is slightly forward when you squat so that your knee stays over your ankle but not shooting past your toes. This keeps the tension on your glutes and it also protects your knees. Speaking of knees, let's talk about your working leg. So you're going to slowly bend your front knee, lowering your body until your front thigh is parallel to the ground or slightly lower. Make sure your back leg is relaxed, but honestly, the band is doing all of that for you. Now, during the push-up motion, you're going to drive through your front heel to push back up. Keep the movement slow and controlled. This is not a sprint, girl, so slow it down, relax. You got this. Oh yeah, and you're doing this for 4 sets of 12 on each leg, and take a break in between if it's truly necessary, but just push through and go up and weight each set. Now here comes the absolute killer. You're going to do some, what I love to call air Bulgarians. It is the same form, just without the weight and without the bar. You're going to do the exact same form that you did on that squat rack. And this is what it looks like. Make sure you're reaching back far enough so that you feel the tension in your glutes, because, you know, without the weight, you low-key do need to go further back, and that's what your hand on the bar is for. Now, did I create this? Yes. Do I regret it? No. Will it burn? Absolutely. This will make your glutes feel like they're falling off. And you're welcome. Now you have bigger glutes. Your pump should be crazy, by the way. And that was it. New year, bigger butt, no excuses. Get into it. You guys better get in the gym and really do this workout routine. All right. And comment down below what more videos you guys want to see next from me. And I'll see you here next time on Celestri Fit. Mwah!